Hello everyone and welcome back to Knaveswell farm. As you can see, we've got the tow chain on the back of the 512 and we're going to be pulling out the FENDT 820 today because I've gone and got it stuck. Now this was kind of inevitable because of the weather. In all fairness though, when I started to do this cultivating, it wasn't raining at all. And we did know that the rain was coming, but I just thought I could do a bit before it started. But clearly, I didn't really get anything done at all before it did start, and now I've got the tractor stuck. So I've got to attempt to pull out this big 820 with a small 512. This probably won't go down too well. I'm actually unsure of if it will actually pull it out at all. It's trying to go, but it just won't do. So I'll fold up the cultivator and we'll attempt to pull it out with our 512 or 512. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced. Anyway, this is the first time I've used the tow chain for a very long time. I have used it before. It's quite difficult to actually get it in the right position, but that seems to be okay. If we attach it there to the front of the 820, and actually we should probably straighten up those wheels. Right, let's give it a go. Yeah, it's not going too well. It's just a bit too muddy. If we could have someone in the 820 as well, driving, I'm sure we'll be able to pull it out. Okay, so plan B. One thing I really do not want to do here is detach the cultivator, because it would be really hard to pick it up again, in real life anyway. We can attempt to drive forwards with this as well. It's not easy. Our tractors just aren't big enough for this, and the 820 is unfortunately our biggest tractor, and that's the one that's stuck. So I might have to go and see if a local farmer will give us a hand. Now, very kindly, one of the local big farms has lent us the quad track for 1 hour at a very reasonable price. So we're going to use this, and this is really, if this is the last resort really, if this doesn't pull it out, that tractor is well and truly stuck. We'll have to go for a forklift, I think, to hold the cultivator off the ground, but it won't come to that hopefully. I think the chain will only fit to the front of this tractor, not to the rear of it, so obviously we'll be pulling in reverse. I'll put the chain over here. Now the last time I used this chain mod, it was actually a rigid chain, and it stayed totally straight. Now it's got a bit of animation to it. It's got some fluidity. As you can see, it's acting more like a chain. But yeah, this is going to be quite tricky getting it attached to the front of the tractor. I love the way that it is perfectly aligned. It looks really good. Right, that is... it was almost right. I think if we go back a bit, there we go. Quickly attach it, and yes, if I just jump out and turn the steering wheel so we're pulling it the correct way, we will have to make a few minor adjustments, but if we pull it at that, and if we put all the forward drive and diff lock on and everything, it should hopefully pull it out. So I'm just double checking to make sure everything is okay here. You can actually detach and attach the chain manually, which is nice, but not on the fence, only on the vehicle which is towing, but that seems to be all okay. I think if we put the wheels down for the cultivator, that will obviously make it quite a bit easier, and it'll prevent damage as well. So here we go. It should be a piece of cake for this tractor. It's certainly working. I'm surprised the wheels aren't animated, but at least the tractor is free, finally. So I will relieve the tension on the chain and we will detach it from the fend, and obviously we're going to have to return the quad track to the neighbouring farm, who very kindly gave it to us for an hour. Luckily we got it done. But there we go, the rain has actually washed it considerably. This was much muddier about an hour ago. It hasn't made too much of a mess, but it's not too good. It's a bit muddy down here. But yes, that I think was this afternoon's biggest obstacle we have to get around, so that is the first thing out of the way. Obviously, it's a rainy day, so there isn't too much we can do anyway. I was kind of thinking to do a bit of yard clearance because it's really muddy and it's also very messy. So if we could sort things out there, that would be pretty good. Clearly, it's not good enough to cultivate. Way too muddy for that. So yeah, I'm going to go and take the quad track back first of all. The chain is ours, so we'll take that back to the yard and then return the quad track. It's times like this when you just wish you had a big tractor. It's unfortunate that it had to be our biggest tractor that got stuck, because the smaller tractor couldn't pull it out. But really, we can't justify spending all that money on a quad track just to pull other tractors out. It doesn't really make sense. But the chain should be okay just in this corner here, so we will detach that by hand. I'll have to remember where it is for next time, if there is a next time. And oh, the fertilizer's out in the rain as well. Not good. Anyway, I'll take this back to the farm and then we'll be in our fend. Yeah, it's turned out to be not a very nice day, but I thought initially this was going to be the rain which we were going to have during the harvest, and luckily it didn't rain during our harvest, so we've kind of got it on the light side. But yes, we did get the tractor stuck, or I did anyway, so it wasn't perfect. But that fence is following us, everything's okay. Back to the yard, do a bit of clearance. More mud, lots of mud. It would be really good if you could get like hardcore or something and fill in these holes. What I tend to do with the cultivator is put it in that shed up there. It's not the easiest place to get to, obviously because of the size of the cultivator, but also the tightness of the yard. But it is just about possible if you don't crash into the pressure washer. It's a bit of a test of skill, and it takes a skilled driver to do this, especially in one go, which would be very hard. But that is the cultivator back in its shed. It was hardly worth getting it out, but I wanted to try it. I wanted to try and get that field cultivated before the rain, but clearly it wasn't going to happen. And the tractor can go just here. I think what we'll do with the other tractor is we'll sort out the yard with that, because it's a much smaller tractor, better at shunting. Obviously we'll turn forward drive off, switch the engine off, and that is us done with this tractor for one day. It's done more than enough damage, I think, so that can stay there. Try and shut the door. There we go. And the 512 we can use for sorting things out. I've already taken the sprayer off, I've put the bale shredder away. It's just the other stuff around here and the fertiliser. To be honest, the fertiliser might have to be sold because there's not really anywhere to put it, and also I tend to find it easier if you pick them up when they're new instead of picking them up again afterwards. That sounds a bit weird, but I've just found that it's easier that way. So I'll get rid of those. And now we just have a forage wagon, a plough, the slurry spreader, which is getting a well-deserved wash, and also the feed mixer. Now, I've never really liked the idea of dumping all of our equipment in the mud. It's something which I got into a habit of doing, and it just doesn't seem like a very good thing to do. So if we can find a better place for all these, then that would be ideal. Something can go just here, but probably not the forage wagon. We do actually have a storage field, so it might be better off in there. Although, we do have a bit of space here. It would be good if it could stay dry. So, yeah, that should be okay in here. The plough is fine outside. Obviously the furrows, the moldboards will probably get a bit rusty. But as soon as we plough again, they should clean up quite well. It's mainly the feed mixer actually. That really does not want to be here. So if we can find somewhere for that, that would be much better. The cows might require some work today. I haven't really been keeping a check on them, and I should have been doing. Yep, there is space for one more up here, so I think if I shut the gate, we can put it in there. It will temporarily block the tether in, but, you know, we can't be wasting space like this, so best place for it. And we've still got loads of silage. I was going to keep most of that because we do need it for our own cows, but there's still quite a bit there. Good. So, that is much better. I'll take the PTO off. We'll drop it off there. And that, I think, is the main part of the yard cleared up. I was getting a few complaints about it because it is a bit messy, I admit. But it's much better now, hopefully. Looking much neater. The slurry spreader can stay outside. It's better outside anyway because it can give it a wash. I think the plough is okay there. And yeah, that is pretty much everything here done. So let's take a look at the cows and see how they're getting on. Right, so I think I might give them silage because we have so much of it, and also because if they run out of total mixed ration for whatever reason, if I forget to do it, then at least they've got something else to be getting on with to keep their productivity higher. The chickens are fine. We've got 15 eggs to pick up. And the sheep are okay. They probably should be fed soon, but I think they'll be okay for today. Is the rain stopping? It'd be good if it is. So the best thing to do would be probably to get the feed mixer again, actually. Yes, I think if I swap the feed mixer with the seed drill, then that'd be keeping it neater in here. Let's just check on the quality of these bales, because if we leave them in here too long, they're going to start to degrade a bit. They're still A+, so that's good. And these, yep, A+ as well. So that is all okay. I'll put this on the seed drill and I'll get the telehandler, see if we can feed the cows that way. If we can't do, if you actually have to press Q and empty it into the trigger, fair enough. But it would be easier if if we could do it with the telehandler. I think we still have one. It wasn't rented, was it? No. Yes, we do own it somewhere. Yep, here it is. It's in field number unknown. I think it's part of field 7, but it doesn't actually have a number. And it looks like we have got a fork on the front. This is for the fertiliser bags. So we'll drop that off. And then we'll put the bucket on. Seriously bumpy track this. Yeah, best place for it is here. That is where I tend to put them all. As you can see, the tractor one is already there and it's tipped over. I don't know why they do that. They always seem to tip over. It's going to be a bit of trial and error. See if this will work or not. Hopefully it will do. And once again we're going to be going through the mud. Everything is so muddy. It's always raining. Try not to go straight through the middle of it. Stay on the edge a bit. Pretty sure this will work as long as we get the trigger in the right place. If I get it wrong, it definitely won't register. I think you can also feed them with a trailer. Right, did that work? Yes, so that is working, good. So that is roughly 4,500 litres at a time. If we could do another bucket load like that, then that would be really good. We should be able to. Yeah, this is such a deep mud hole. And then after this, I think we'll probably just pick the chickens' eggs up. The rain has finally stopped, but everything is going to be so wet. There's no chance of doing any harvesting or anything like that. Not that we have any. We do need to do some spraying, but I'm not going to do any more of that on screen for a while. We've done enough of that recently. But we do need to do some mowing as well. So everything is just way too wet for any of that. So today is a bit of a write-off. Just like a slalom course with all these cows here. Right, second bucket load. This might fill it, to be honest. Yeah, that's good enough. So that is 9,000 litres of silage, as well as the mixed ration. So that is plenty. The sheep wool is, I think, is 60% full. So it wouldn't be worth moving that today, which is a bit of a shame, really, because we've got a bit of time on our hands to do that. But it's not, yeah, it's not really worth it. We will wait until it's 100% full. The chickens have got some eggs which need picking up, but that's about a 30-second job. We will put the telehandler into the silage pit and we'll leave it there. And yeah, the chickens, they should be getting on fine anyway. They don't really need much work at all. I think, yeah, here they are. Chicken eggs, lots of them. There should be, I think, 15. They will be dotted about in the grass somewhere. I keep randomly picking them up. There's one. How many do we have? We've got 15 in the backpack. There is still 7 somewhere. I have no idea where. I think they just appear anywhere in their pen. Well, that should be good enough for today. The seed drill really should be moved. The main reason why I want to move it is because it's actually blocking in the bales, and the bales do need to be a bit accessible. I just don't know if there's a really good place for it because most of our storage is full. I could take the John Deere tractor out actually. Doesn't really need to be in here. It's taking up a bit of space. That could just park down here. And now this is the true test. Let's get this thing parked into the end bay. I'll have to shut the gate though, otherwise I'm never going to do it. And I want to see if I can do it in one. Here we go, the pressure is on. The chances of me getting this in one is about 500 trillion to 1. But it's worth a go. I have never concentrated so hard in my life. Have to mind the front of the tractor too. Wow. How is that even possible? Well, it's in. Kind of. Oh, no. No, I'm not going to count that. That is terrible. I've crashed into the shed. I just didn't realise. I think we'll have to say I did it in 2, to be fair. Right, so with that out of the way, our yard is pretty much clear. There isn't really anything left to do for today, but we do need to decide what we need to do next with the grass fields. We have to do some more slurrying, but obviously we don't have any slurry, so that is a bit of an issue. That is for field number... Well, I guess we could do field number 6, but that hasn't been cut yet, so not really too sure. But yeah, tomorrow I think we'll be doing some mowing, most likely in field number 6. And that will be, I would say, hay bales, or possibly haylage. But that is it for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I promise not to get another tractor stuck. I probably shouldn't have said that. But yeah, until next time, thanks again, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.